Bitcoin's history is about to repeat. I think price action is going to do something quite similar to what it did back in 2019. Remember, from a monetary policy point of view, when we talk about quantitative easing, when we talk about liquidity, Bitcoin is the most comparable with its current price action to 2019. Very quickly, why? QT ended 2 months after there was a top for Bitcoin, which was here in 2019 July. Then QT ended. You saw the introduction of quantitative easing. And then about 6 months-ish after, you saw Bitcoin go parabolic again because they printed so much money due to COVID, right? So monetary policy side and even social risk side, 2019 was a period of complete apathy where basically nobody cared, nobody was interested. This is from the current year, and I'll go into this data in more detail. Nobody wants to download cryptocurrency apps. Nobody wants to participate in the markets. When you go into the Google metrics, when you even look into things like the crypto risk indicator dashboard and go to social metrics, shout out to Ben Cowan for preparing this in 2019. This was the social interest, right? It was a high, but it was a high where not many people really cared about crypto. This time it's worse. Now we're at like zero. So there is a lot of similarities monetary policy side. There's a lot of similarities from a social risk metric side. And I want to break down to you, based off of that similarity, what should we be expecting next? And this chart pretty much gives us the self-explanatory demonstration. I also want to briefly cover commodities because they're acting more like altcoins than altcoins are acting like altcoins. You can see things like palladium and platinum and silver, or some of them are down in double digits. And the altcoins that me and you are familiar with, they're only down like 2.5%, 1.7% Pepe. But for some reason, silver or palladium is like, 10 times more, or more than, about 10 times more volatile in the negative way than Pepe. To me, it's interesting, and I will break that down to you today in this video also. But guys, if you appreciate these daily updates, make sure to destroy the like button. That would mean the world, and subscribe to become a crypto kid. I decided to take some profits today, maybe you noticed, to get a haircut. So if you think that I'm more presentable now, then let me know if you like it, or if you prefer actually crypto kid with the beard. It's possible that you do. And you know what? According to the comments in my next round of getting a haircut, I'll decide whether if I should keep the beard longer or not. With that said, let's jump straight into the video and begin with the Bitcoin macro, and I'll dive into the short term too. So macro, I believe we're going to follow 2019 phase. You guys, I think at this point, understand why I like it, just purely based off of social metrics, and more importantly, monetary policy side, we're getting quantitative easing. In fact, it's already begun a little bit, but it's going to accelerate in Q2 to Q3 of 2026. The Fed will increase their balance sheet. We will have a more Trump monetary policy style Fed chair to reduce rates. And we have different things like no tax on tips, so on and so forth. All of these things are inflationary for money, which will mean monetary debasement, which will ultimately mean that risk on assets should go to the upside, just like what Bitcoin did in 2020 to 2021, albeit not as vigorously, not as aggressively, but still, we should be seeing moves towards the upside. Until we get into Q2 and Q3 of 2026, though, I think we will see a slow descend on Bitcoin. I wasn't here in 2019 while it was just getting started, but it was my early days. But according to Ben Cowan, the current amount of apathy, the current amount of bearish and negative sentiment in Bitcoin and crypto was the same amount as if it was in 2019. Price just slowly died and really rinsed everybody from the market. But as soon as liquidity kicked in, that is when life-changing money was made. So if we want to be successful, we just need to be a bit more patient. Easier said than done, but if we can be patient for another year, going into Q4 of 2026, I think we're going to start making some good money once again. And I want to demonstrate to you just really how bad it is and why you should pat yourselves on the back. Because when we look into the biggest exchanges in the world, which are the biggest crypto applications in the world, the monthly and the yearly downloads have fallen drastically. I mean, look at the total monthly downloads of Binance, of Coinbase, of Crypto.com. Year on year, Coinbase is down 61%. The monthly active users For Coinbase is down 2%, but year on year, it's down 20%. Unbelievable. Nobody cares. Really, nobody cares about the markets, and it's perfect. It's the perfect time, in my opinion, to be buying. You want to buy when nobody cares. You don't want to be buying when everyone cares. If you ask your grandparents or your Uber driver about markets, they're most likely going to bring up commodities. That's where the attraction is. And because the attraction is there, and because people were lining up to buy silver in Singapore 2 days ago, guess what? Silver is down 6%. So now nobody cares about crypto. Even altcoins, for God's sake, are less volatile than commodities. This is the time, in my opinion, to be accumulating these things where nobody talks about, nobody cares about. And as soon as they do start doing that, going into 2027 and beyond, I think that's when we start to take profits once more. That's the macro approach. The daily approach, you guys know the drill. It's nothing too different to what we spoke about in the prior videos. If TradingView decides to load, we'll be able to take a look at it, but we're still within that symmetrical triangle. We're still trying to see the breakouts. You know the parameters for a move to the downside or to the upside, so I'm really not going to repeat it. I was expecting us to see the break last Friday. We didn't. Tuesday, which is tomorrow, we really should, because we're at the very end of the pattern. If we don't break, then we will invalidate the pattern, and if we do so, we can bring up some different analysis and rethink the short-term outlook again. So wait until tomorrow's updates. Tomorrow's update will be important. There is some resistance from Ichimoku. There's a lot of resistance from the EMA ribbons. My current bias is sadly a little bit bearish compared to the bullish side of things. If we can break above 91.8, again, as you know, that's when I will be expecting the 200 daily moving average. Finally, let me share you the quick outlook for commodities, right? We used to see these memes for cryptocurrencies and meme coins, Shiba hits $1, my boss, why are you late? And we say, watch your mouth, son, right? We used to see these things for Shiba, for Dogecoin. Now we're seeing it for silver. Unbelievable, unbelievable times. My macro outlook for silver is still bullish. I think silver is, we predicted silver when it was at $18. We made a video with Carl when we were breaking above the cup and handle on silver on the 12-month time frame. We said it's going to play catch up with gold's monthly cup and handle. I think silver has still some more legroom to grow. But again, I think the real opportunity is still Bitcoin. I think gold is experiencing a top, or we will slowly reach a top. This is a triple MRI top on the monthly, incredibly rare. You topped out on the second MRI top back in 2011. You entered a big consolidation phase in 2020 when you saw the first MRI top. A triple top is very rare to come across. And then on the 12-month, you're seeing an MRI top. The last time you experienced it was back in 2011, and that led into a bear market. So I think that next year is not going to be as lucrative for gold as it is, or as it was this year. And I think some of that capital will rotate into cryptocurrencies going into Q4. Silver, I think, is a little bit more of legroom. But yeah, I think the opportunities have been dwindled a little bit, and it was a lot of speculation of ISM flipping back into the expansionary phase. So that concludes my analysis for today. Guys, we have a brand new campaign with Weeks. I'm going to talk about it more on tomorrow's video. But if you want to front run tomorrow's video, they have something called a New Year's Draw, where if you don't have a Weeks account, you can go to the first link down in the description, create your account in less than 40 seconds time, and deposit $100 to the exchange to get an Easter egg, or what appears to be an Easter egg. I think maybe it's something different, but this egg can hatch, and it can give you anywhere from 0.01 Bitcoin to an iPhone 17 Pro, to a VIP 8 trial, to a USDT coupon, and a lot of people have already won their prizes. So if you want to get a New Year's prize, then go to the first link in the description, deposit $100 to the exchange, and get one of these prizes. And let me know in the chats what prize you got. So with that said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all on the next video very soon. Take care, guys, and as always, bye-bye.